$1,000 for getting Sachin Tendulkar out? Yes, you heard that right. Before we start today's episode of Classics, please like this video and subscribe if you haven't already. Trust us, you won't regret it. Now, let's rewind the clock back to 2004. Sri Lanka was all set to host the 8th edition of the Asia Cup, which was expanding to 6 teams for the very first time. The 2 new additions being Hong Kong and the United Arab Emirates. On what was the first day of the tournament, the UAE was set to face India for the first time in the millennium. The lead up to the game had been nothing short of a film story, as the UAE official promised Khurram Khan, the UAE skipper at the time, $1,000 as a reward to the bowler who dismissed Sachin Tendulkar, the most successful one-day batsman in the world. Playing in Dambulla, UAE got off to the best possible start after being asked to bowl, first by removing Virendra Sehwag of the 3rd ball of the match without any runs on the board. Of course, that wasn't going to yield anyone the $1,000. While Khurram also admitted that the money wouldn't be the sole motivation behind looking for Tendulkar's wicket, he added, and I quote, "I don't think anyone would have taken that wicket for the money alone. It would be a prize wicket like no other." But one can only speculate if the UAE bowling attack also subscribed to those notions. For someone who was making his international debut, Asim Saeed was in the middle of a solid spell with a new ball. The left-arm pacer then managed to get one to hold its line, inducing an inside edge of Sachin Tendulkar's bat and then ricocheted off his pads straight to mid-wicket. The reactions were there for everyone to see, as the side celebrated as though they'd won the game. Asim Saeed had gotten richer by $1,000 and the entire team was absolutely stoked. Having not played a major ICC tournament since the 1996 World Cup, Khurram Khan had spoken at the pre-tournament press conference about trying to emulate Greece's performance in the recently concluded 2004 Euros. His bowlers responded to this by pegging India back at 65 for 3, VVS Lakshman being the latest of their scalps. Rahul Dravid then joined forces with the skipper Sourav Ganguly to take India to safer shores, with the former ending up with a quicker than a runner ball ton. Chasing an above par 261, the pace trio of Irfan Pathan, Lakshmipati Balaji and Zaheer Khan wreaked havoc under the lights as the UAE top order struggled to handle their fiery pace. Asim Saeed also opened the batting for his side, being one of the only 3 batters that day to enter double digits. Mohammad Tawqir's lone hand helped UAE reduce the margin of defeat, but the writing was always on the wall. Unfortunately for Saeed, the treasured wicket of Sachin Tendulkar ended up being the only wicket he would ever take in international cricket. Playing in a tight schedule, UAE played the host Sri Lanka in their second and last Asia Cup fixture the very next day. The match also happened to be the ODI debut of the Sri Lankan legend Lasith Malinga. Playing once again in Dambulla, UAE lost their second toss as well and they were asked to bowl first. Running in to begin his 3rd over, Saeed bumped into the umpire and later the stumps to suffer freakish knee injury, one that he never really recovered from. He played no more part in the first innings but did walk out to bat with the runner at the fall of the 6th wicket. It was a fairly short stay as Muthai Muralitharan dismissed him for a 2-ball duck. He was later out of top-flight cricket for a year and finally made a comeback in the ICC trophy next year, but a string of poor performances there meant that he never wore the UAE colours ever again. The injury forced him to curtail his career, which means that he's the only cricketer in history to have Sachin Tendulkar as their solo international wicket. So what is Asim Saeed up to these days? Well, he set up a coaching academy to identify and train the best talents in the UAE. Sure, this is not the first instance of a cash reward being announced to incentivize on-field performances. Better yet, this wasn't even the first instance of UAE officials doing something similar. Ahead of the 1990 FIFA World Cup in Italy, the then UAE Prime Minister Sheikh Zayed bin Sultan Al Nahyan had promised a Rolls-Royce to anyone who'd score goals for the UAE. Staying true to his word, he went on to gift the luxury cars to Khalil Ismail Mubarak and Al Thani Juma for scoring goals in the World Cup, despite their side conceding 11 goals in return. Thanks for watching this episode of cricket.com Classics. Tell us what other stories you want us to narrate going forward. Also, comment below by sharing your best reward for taking someone's wicket. Goodbye for now.